Hello children, welcome back to your next English class. This is your Nupur ma'am. You can see the part 2 of Arabian Nights. I want to start today this part 2, the story of Aladdin and Wonderful Lamp. You will get to know who is Aladdin and what is the main story behind the Wonderful Lamp. Okay, so first of all I want to tell some characters. First of all, Aladdin, which is the main characters here, and Mustafa is another character. So, who is Aladdin? Aladdin is a naughty boy, and Aladdin was Mustafa's only one child, and Mustafa was a tailor, and they were living in a large city of China. And Mustafa was very poor, and he was that kind of people who each and every time who struggles hard for his family only. He has his wife and only one child named Aladdin. And what about Aladdin? Aladdin was very naughty and lazy. He didn't obey anyone. He didn't obey his parents, the will of the parents, and all the day only he would play in the streets with his naughty friends also. Once Mustafa, as he was a tailor, so Mustafa wanted Aladdin to his shop already. Okay, so Aladdin was old enough to learn about a trade. Okay, so one day what happened, for his father took him into the shop and began to show him how he should use a needle. But his father was failed, and Aladdin showed his lazy habits again, and his father became ill and died after some days. On that moment, the widow wife of Mustafa, then also she thought that now maybe her son will do something else, will earn some money, but she was already wrong on that moment. Aladdin remained still, his habits didn't change. Okay, so after his father's death, the good woman, means the widow, sold all the things that were in the shop, and with that money and a little she could earn by spinning cloth, she got on fairly well. Okay, so what happened one day, after some days, one day Aladdin was playing in the street with the naughty boys. Suddenly what happened, a stranger came there and saw him and just looked at him. Stranger was a magician. Okay, as he looked at Aladdin, he said to himself, "This is just the kind of boy I want." Now the stranger was telling, "This is the boy what I want." And what happened after a moment, he just came near to Aladdin and he drew him from his playmates. Okay, and then magician asked, "Is your father called Mustafa Tailor?" So when Aladdin listened it, he was strange. He said, "Yes, but he is now dead. But how do you know him?" And when that stranger heard this, he just threw his arms around the boy and tried to kiss him, and while tears seemed to flow down his cheeks. So to see this, Aladdin was really surprised. He was asking, "Why are you crying? What happened to you?" Then the stranger gave the answer, "Actually, I am your uncle, being your father's real brother. So I had tried to find him all over the world, but now I had to know that he is no more." So listen to it. Having listened it, Aladdin just ran off home and told each and everything to his mother, that mom, there is an uncle in the street who is telling that he is my own uncle, he is my father's brother, and he wants to come tomorrow. So listening this, his mother told, "What nonsense! There is no brother of your father. You have no uncle." Aladdin was saying, "But the stranger hugged and kissed me and gave me this gold. And he must surely be my uncle." So Aladdin's mother did not know what to think. She had never heard about any uncle of him. So as Aladdin went out, nothing more was said. Okay. So next day, what happened? The stranger came again and saw again Aladdin praying in the street, and he called the boy and he gave some money to the boy and told, "Take it to your mother and tell her that to buy some things for tonight's supper." Supper means dinner. "I shall call on you then." So what happened after that? Aladdin took the money home and give it to his mother, and she spent the money in buying good food for the supper. And as for Aladdin, so eager was to see his uncle once more that he went out into the street to show him the way to the house. Okay. After that, what happened? The stranger came. The stranger came with some bottles of wine and some fruits and all. And he came for taking the supper, and all of them sat the supper. All the things means all of the foods, whatever was used about to serve as supper meal, all those were set on the table. And he said to the widow that, pray show me the place where my poor brother used to sit." Then the stranger, what happened? Then this line, the good woman showed him the corner of the sofa. At once the stranger fell down before the place and began to kiss the sofa. Okay, and he was saying, "Then my poor brother," he was crying, and he was showing his expression as he was too much sorrow for his brother. Okay, after a while the two sat down to supper and had a good meal. Then they talked, and the stranger said what joy it would give him to set Aladdin up in a shop, so that he might earn a good living by the sale of goods. So in the meantime, what happened? For some next days, the stranger each and every day came and bought Aladdin some new clothes, and Aladdin was very happy to get these clothes. And he really thought that maybe he's really my uncle, that is why he is giving me all things, and he's a very kind-hearted person. So one day, stranger came and said to Aladdin, "Tomorrow I will show you some finer sights than these, so be ready for me." So on that moment, what happened? Next morning came, and both of them started their journey, and they set out through the city gate, where they saw some great large palaces with beautiful gardens. And Aladdin was full of joy. He was enjoying that moment. And after some time, both of them were tired, and they sat for a moment. And here you can say, "Let us sit down here," said uncle to Aladdin. "I want now." Aladdin was too much tired, and he was asking to uncle, how much we have to go, because we have to come back again, and I cannot walk back. So this was just telling by uncle, "I want to offer you some good advice before I let you have a shop." And then Aladdin asked about how much path he has to go still. Then uncle said, the stranger said, "Take courage, my boy. and I wish to show you one more garden which is better than others we have seen so far. So they started again. Soon they came to a narrow valley where all was quiet, and the place, which place he wished, means the stranger wished, they already reached. This uncle said, and there are some wonders which you have never yet dreamed of, uncle was saying to Aladdin. Now uncle was saying, now I am going to strike a light. You gather me some dry sticks to make a fire. Then, as the order of the uncle, Aladdin did. Aladdin gathered plenty of sticks near his hand, and Aladdin make a large heap of them. Okay. Then what happened? Uncle set them on fire, and he threw some perfume on it and spoke some strange words. Having seen this, Aladdin was getting feared. He was feeling afraid. And he was thinking so many things. Just at that moment, what happened? The ground, this is the ground beneath them, the ground shook, and there came into a sight a square stone about a foot and a half across, with a brass ring fixed right in the center for the purpose of lighting it up. There was a fixed ring in the center for what? For lifting it up. As it was a stone, it was a square stone, so it should be a big, it should be very big sized. So what happened after that? Uncle was saying, did you see my power? Uncle was telling to Aladdin, did you see my power? What is my power? So I can do each and anything. So now I want you to do something for me. Aladdin was really very feared and shaking also. So he told, okay uncle, just tell me what I have to do. Whatever you will tell, I will do for you. Then uncle said, then pull that stone up by that ring. It will come up easily if you repeat the names of your father and grandfather. Aladdin did it. Aladdin took hold the ring, and it was really strange to say, it was very easy to lift the stone without any least effort. Okay. Next thing what? Next thing to do, uncle said that here is to go down that well. When you come to the bottom, go through the door into a large hall, then through many halls one after one, keeping a straight course till you come to where you will find a lamp burning in a recess in a wall. Bring that lamp for me. Whenever he told these words, he put a ring on Aladdin's finger. Okay. Whenever uncle told, he put a ring on Aladdin's finger and said, see, as he did so, that it could keep him from all harm. Then Aladdin went down the well and found all things as uncle said. Really there was precious stones which were the great values, and Aladdin came to the lamp. He took it down from the wall, and having put out the flame, carried it on his bosom. And he took also some fruits from the trees, and at last came to the bottom of the well. Up the steps he went. He saw the stranger outside waiting for him. And the stranger was telling, give me lamp. You will be able to get out more easily. Otherwise not. Aladdin said, no, I don't give you. Just I will give you the lamp. But before that, just help me to out first from this place. Now I must tell you that it was a lamb, the stranger I wanted. Actually, he was not Aladdin's real uncle. He had tried this trick to get that lamb. He had come from Africa. Okay, here you can see he was in a sore plight when Aladdin would not give it to him. Then what happened? The stranger tried all kinds of things, whatever he could, but Aladdin had sense enough, and he didn't give the lamb. Seeing this, the stranger added a little more perfume and was telling some more strange words, and he said two magic words. And what happened then? The stone, see, which had covered up the well and kept it from view, flew back to its place of its own accord. The magician made off as fast as he could to Africa. So Aladdin knew not what to do. He was crying, and he was crying for many times, but there was no one. There was no his uncle also to rescue him. So see this, his uncle would take away the stone. The lamb surely should be his, but the stranger was now a long distance off, and Aladdin's cries were in vain. For 2 days Aladdin was there helplessly without eating and drinking. On the 3rd day, what happened? When he had given up all the hopes of ever seeing delight again, he just joined his hands together as he would have done had he been saying his prayers. What happened after that? He saw the ring in his finger. So as he did so, he chanced to rub the ring that the stranger had put on his finger. He was rubbing the ring. Next instant, what happened? When he got that chance to rub the ring, suddenly a jinn, tall and strong, stood before him. And in the next page in the picture, you can see this. This is a jinn. And the jinn was asking, "What do you wish? I will do each and everything for you. I am ready to obey you as your slave. As I was doing it before it for that person, as a slave of him who has a ring on his finger. But both I and the other slaves of the ring. Pray then," Aladdin said, "take me out of this place, because I can't do anything else. I don't know what to do." So after a moment, Aladdin found himself on a spot. This is a picture where the fire had been made. He felt some fresh breeze blow upon him, and losing no time made his way to home. Okay, now he returned to home where his mother was waiting for him, and his mother was very glad to see him. And then he took some food, and he told her all the stories about the strange cave and the lamp. He also showed her the precious stones which he had taken from the trees. Then he went to bed, and then he slept down. So till here I told the story of Aladdin. From the next part, I will tell you the story on the next video. So wait for the next day. I will come with a little bit more enjoyable moment for you from the Aladdin. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope you can remember who is Aladdin, who is Mustafa, who is that stranger, and how did he know that stranger was actually not his uncle. Actually he was a magician, not he came from Africa, and all, right? So thank you so much. Have a nice day. Keep watching my video. Bye bye.